Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. A Belarusian opposition leader who rallied mass protests against disputed leader Alexander Lukashenko has been jailed for 18 years. Sergei Tikhanovsky was convicted of organising riots, among other charges, following a trial condemned as a sham. He planned to challenge Mr. Lukashenko in the 2020 presidential election, but was detained before the vote. His wife, Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, took on Mr. Lukashenko, who claimed victory in the widely discredited poll. She claimed victory herself, but fearing for her own safety, went into exile with her children the next day. The highest temperature ever recorded in the Arctic has been officially confirmed, with scientists warning it sounds alarm bells over the Earth's changing climate. The World Meteorological Organization verified the record of 38 degrees Celsius reported in a Siberian town last year. The temperature was 18 degrees Celsius higher than the area's average daily maximum. The WMO said the extreme heat was more benefiting the Mediterranean than the Arctic. It is the first time the agency has included the Arctic Circle in its archive of extreme weather reports. Rescuers are continuing to search for 2 people still missing under the rubble of houses destroyed by a suspected gas explosion in the Sicilian town of Ravanusa. The National Fire Service have confirmed at least 7 people had died in the incident. 4 bodies were pulled from the rubble on Monday morning after being identified by sniffer dogs. In the explosion, 4 houses collapsed and another 3 were damaged. A gas leak is thought to be the most likely cause. Ethiopia has rejected a plan by the UN's top human rights body to hold a special session to discuss the human rights situation in the country. Ethiopia announced at the end of November that it had set up a task force to deal with human rights violations during the conflict in the north of the country between its military and TPLF rebels. Ethiopia's foreign ministry said that it was perplexed and saddened by the UN Human Rights Council's decision and has called on member states to reject and vote against the special session. Uganda's opposition leader, Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobi Wine, has tweeted photos of police and military outside his home. The pictures come ahead of planned campaigns in Kayunga district, 55 kilometers northeast of the capital Kampala. Bobi Wine accuses the police and military of attempting to block him from leaving his home. Hundreds of people have fled into the streets in cities across eastern Indonesia after a powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck the country. So far, there have been no immediate reports of casualties or extensive damage. Earlier, tsunami warnings had been revoked by the meteorology agency. Eyewitness video shows dozens gathered along streets in East Nusa Tenggara province, while people could also be seen fleeing in nearby South Sulawesi province. 2 crew members on a British cargo vessel have been found to be over the legal limit for alcohol after a collision with a Danish barge in the Baltic Sea that killed at least 1 person. Pictures have emerged of the 90-metre Scott carrier with a dent in the bow of the boat, while you can also see the large hole in the hull of the 55-metre Karen Hodge barge, which caused it to capsize. One of the 2 Danish crew members was found dead in the hull. The other has not yet been found. Kim Kardashian is 1 step closer to her dream of becoming a lawyer after revealing she has passed a key law exam on her 4th attempt. The reality TV star and businesswoman posted the news on social media, urging fans never to give up on the goals they have set their mind on. The 41-year-old has spent years advocating for criminal justice reform, including lobbying at the White House. She announced in 2019 that she wanted to go further and qualify in law. And finally, hundreds of kayaks decked with Christmas lights and decorations have taken to canals of central Copenhagen. 700 kayaks moved along the canal for the parade to bring light into darkness. The procession of light at one of the darkest times of the year in Scandinavia originated in Sweden at the end of the 19th century and was later adopted by their neighbours in Denmark. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.